कलातमोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकं कलाधरावतं सकं विलासिलोकरक्षकम्।
Hello children, so today we are going to discuss the first topic of your science, 10th standard science, that is chemical reactions and equations. See, chemical reactions and equations. So now the question comes, does this chemical reactions, do they occur in a day-to-day life? Have we observed them? Yes, the answer is yes. We every day, every second, we are able to observe all these reactions in a day-to-day life. But the thing is, we don't know what exactly is going to happen there. Yes, so now let's go one by one. Curdling of milk, for example, when your mother or when you are at home, especially during the summer season, if you keep the milk outside, yes, what happens? There will be curdling of the milk. How it occurs? It is because of the chemical reaction that is going to change in your milk there. Yes? Okay. Now moving on to the next one. Rusting of iron. This is very interesting, which you have studied from your 6th standard again and again and again. Yes? So you are able to see here the 2 iron wires, the very brand new one, and after some days or after some month, how it becomes. Yes, so you are able to see clearly, yes, the color change here. Yes, you are able to see the reddish, brownish red color deposition. Yes, so we have brownish red color deposit on the same iron here. So is it this only that we are able to see outside? Let's see more. Digestion process. What actually happens in the digestion process? You take the food, yes, the food gets in here, it comes to from esophagus, it comes to your stomach. In the stomach, what all you have? Yes, we do have different enzymes there. We have different enzymes which break the food. What all food you have here, it is being broken down. It is broken. Yes, now it is in the simpler form. Again, it goes to your small intestines here. So it will be moving on at the same time. The remaining small particles, whatever the particles are there, still there is digestion, that is breakdown of those particles, complete breakdown. Complete breakdown takes place. Then even the absorption happens. Yes, so digestion is a process where in every part there is going to be what? A kind of chemical reaction. There are different kind of enzymes in your small intestine, your stomach, in your liver, in your pancreas here. So they are being released so that the food is digested completely. After digestion, we have absorption process also. Correct? Then respiration in cellular level of respiration. We take the food, it undergoes digestion process. After digestion, I said assimilation, that is absorption of all these nutrients take place. Those nutrients have been taken to your cells. In the cell, it takes the nutrients and forms the energy currencies, body's energy currency, that is ATP. ATP is formed, that is adenosine triphosphate. So this adenosine triphosphate is again used in the metabolism, because to do work, whatever the ATP is synthesized, it is again being used by our body for the metabolical work. So when you do any kind of work, running, writing, anything, any kind of work that your body is doing the work, you find heat, that is heat is being given out. Chemical waste. So what happens when you are taking this all food inside, oxygen plays a very important role here. So when the ATP is formed, the same oxygen it goes to your metabolism there, and then at the same time carbon dioxide and water as the chemical waste, they are being given out there. Is it only carbon dioxide and your water? No, even the heat is being released there. Heat is also released there. Okay. So next comes the important point here. So when all these things are happening around us and within our body, so then what is a chemical reaction then? What do you mean by a chemical reaction here? So chemical reactions are the process in which new substances with new properties are formed. So I hope you remember in 9th standard you have studied about law of conservation of mass. What it states, neither the energy can be created nor be destroyed. Yes, neither it can be created nor be destroyed, but it can be changed into different form. The same thing is here. So in a chemical reaction, what is going to happen? A new substance is formed. The old substance is not completely lost, but the rearrangement takes place here. Yes, new substances with new properties are formed. In a chemical reaction, a new substance is formed with new properties. During a chemical reaction, atoms of one element, this is very important, atoms of one element do not change into those of another element, only rearrangement of atoms takes place in a chemical reaction. So what exactly happens here is only the rearrangement. So you already know, yes, the different orbitals are there. We have the electrons revolving around the nucleus. Yes, you have one element. Yes, this is the another element. Yes, only the rearrangement takes place. Okay, if it is here, it comes here. We have rearrangement. Yes, rearrangement takes place of the atoms in the chemical reaction. We are not losing an atom there, or nor we are creating or taking some other atom there. The atoms which are present in the element, just the rearrangement takes place in a chemical reaction and a new substance is being formed there. The substance which take part in a chemical reaction are called reactants. Okay, the substance or substances which take part in a chemical reaction, they are called as reactants here. They are called as reactants. The new substance produced as a result of chemical reaction are called as product. They are called as what? Product. Okay. Now, the best example here we have is burning of magnesium ribbon in air. So, this is your magnesium ribbon. Okay. So, here this is how the arrangement of magnesium. Yes, in your ribbon there. And this is the oxygen that you have here. Okay. Now, when the magnesium ribbon, okay, when it burns in the presence of air, it gives bright white color light here. You are able to see? Yeah, you can see it here very easily. Bright white color light or the flame here. Okay, then it forms white powder here. After burning, it forms white powder there. So, if you observe here what exactly is happening, the magnesium ribbon, it very vigorously reacts with your oxygen, that is the gas which is present in the air, and it forms MgO, that is nothing but magnesium oxide. It forms magnesium oxide there, magnesium oxide. So you can see here, this is how your magnesium is. When it burns in the presence of air, you get a white powder which is called as magnesium oxide. So now magnesium and oxygen, they are called as what? They are called as reactants, whereas magnesium oxide, it is called as the product here. It is called as the product. Okay, so this is how the rearrangement takes place. That is the magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide. So this is how the white color powder, if you observe it, this kind of rearrangement you will be able to find there. Now, yes, so this magnesium ribbon, it is first polished with a polish paper. The reason is, when you keep this magnesium ribbon outside open in the air, magnesium very fastly reacts with the oxygen and you will be having a deposit over the magnesium. You have a red color deposition on this magnesium. So to remove that, yes, what we'll be doing? We will be polishing your magnesium ribbon with the polished paper and then we use it for burning there. Okay. Now moving on to the next. For a chemical reaction to occur, the change can be observed in the form of. Now the question comes, if all these things are happening, how we will be able to know whether the chemical reaction has occurred or not? What all changes we will be able to observe in case of a chemical reaction? How can we observe? First one is change in state. Melting, simple is melting of ice into water. Ice, normal change. If a reaction has taken place, the ice turning into water. It's a simple one. The next, change in color. The next type is change in color here. So what exactly happens here is, yes, so we have citric acid and potassium permanganate react. Okay, what exactly happens? You are able to see this KMnO4. This is KMnO4, that is potassium permanganate. Okay, so what happens here is this potassium permanganate, to this when you add citric acid, okay, when you add citric acid to it. Now we already know that the potassium permanganate, yes, it is violet in color, violet purple mixture, we have the color there. Yes, you are able to see here in this. So the moment you add citric acid, it changes from violet color to colorless here, violet color to colorless. That means the reaction between KMnO4 and citric acid, that is potassium permanganate and citric acid, has occurred. A new product is formed and that result that we are able to understand by the change in the color, by the change in the color there. Now change in temperature. Now we just observed change in state, change in color. The next is change in temperature. Change in temperature. So there are two types of reactions. So when we are talking about temperature here, there are majorly two types. One is exothermic and the other one is endothermic. See, exo means out, thermal means heat. Thermal means heat. So heat is given out here. but whereas endo means inside, thermic again heat, so heat is being absorbed here. Okay, now let's discuss what exactly happens in case of an exothermic reaction. So now we are going to see in case of exothermic reaction, yes, energy is released in the form of heat. So what happens? Energy is being released out in the form of heat there. So we have a best example if you are able to see. Yes, so this is zinc. This is your zinc granule. So this zinc, yes, when we put it in your H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid, dilute sulfuric acid, it reacts with zinc, reacts with sulfuric acid and it forms zinc sulfate. Yes, it is also aqueous, and you will be able to see hydrogen gas, the small bubbles you are able to see here, the small bubbles you are able to see. Yes, so that is nothing but hydrogen gas is released. Okay, now when you touch this particular test tube, yes, it is very heat there, it is very heat. That means during the reaction, during the formation of zinc sulfate, hydrogen gas is released first thing. At the same time, lot of heat is also given out. So it is example for exothermic reaction. So this is a very good example for exothermic reaction. So zinc, it is solid, this we call zinc granule. So this zinc granule, it reacts with sulfuric acid and it forms zinc sulfate, and at the same time hydrogen gas is being released there. That was, we just saw, is exothermic reaction. But what exactly happens in case of endothermic reaction? Yes, those reactions in which energy is absorbed are called endothermic reaction. That means in this particular reactions, the energy is being absorbed. Yes, wherever the reaction is taking place, the energy is being absorbed there. The energy is being absorbed. So that is called as what? Endothermic reaction. For example, when barium hydroxide is added to ammonium chloride, then barium chloride, ammonia and water is formed. Okay, so we have barium hydroxide. BaOH twice. Okay, it reacts with, to this when you add, actually to ammonium chloride we are adding, so I'll write it as yes. So ammonium chloride, we have NH4 Cl. To this when you add barium hydroxide, yes, it forms barium chloride, that is BaCl2 plus ammonia is formed. Okay, plus water. Yes, water. So if you are able to see here, the temperature of the mixture drops from room temperature 22 degrees Celsius to about minus 25 degrees Celsius. That means whatever the heat energy it was surrounding there, yes, it is being absorbed. Whatever the heat energy was surrounding this particular beaker, it is being absorbed here, absorbed by this mixture. So that's why the temperature falls to minus 25 degrees there, minus 25 degree Celsius there. Okay, then next, precipitation. Yes, so precipitate is formation of a solid like material during the reaction. So best example to understand that is when potassium iodide, okay, when potassium iodide solution is added to your, yes, lead nitrate, okay, it forms, what it forms? It forms potassium, if I am able to, yes, so potassium, you have your potassium iodide, it reacts with your lead nitrate to form lead iodide and your potassium nitrate there. So in this you are able to see, this is what, this is your Ki. Ki means potassium iodide. When to this potassium iodide here, this one upper beaker, that is potassium iodide, and this is lead nitrate. So when you add potassium iodide to lead nitrate, the moment you add, you will be able to see the color change also. It is both are colorless, but the moment you add, you get slight yellow color. You get slightly yellow color, and when you go on pouring your Ki, that is potassium iodide, you will be able to see solid yellow color particles forming there. So this is called as precipitation. Yes, precipitation. By this means also we can understand there has been a chemical reaction taking place between your potassium iodide and lead nitrate to form the product PBI. That means lead iodide and potassium nitrate there. Yes, I hope you all have understood the major changes that are going to take place. We will in the next class, we will study about how to write a chemical reaction, how to balance it, what all are the steps we are going to take during balancing a equation, and not just that, during writing a chemical equations, what all measures have to be taken. Yes, thank you.